Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. And if you're listening in the podcast, thank you so much for being here. It is September 14, 2023. Thank you so much for being here. I'm here, guys, to speak to you briefly about the situation that's going on with Haiti and the Dominican Republic. In case you guys don't know, and please pardon if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see back there I'm still unpacking from New York Fashion Week, but there are things that are time sensitive, and I wasn't gonna even speak about it, but God reminded me just now that in 2020 I made a video about a vision that God gave me about the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And it was so specific, right? And back then in 2020, what I saw, and you can watch this video. I'm gonna put the link here so you can see it. And if you're listening in the podcast, feel free to come to YouTube so you can watch the video. I don't think I put this on the podcast because I don't think I had it back then, but it was specifically about the island of the Hispaniola, right? Which is Haiti and the Dominican Republic. They share an island. But back then I saw in the vision some type of fireball, right? And some type of complications that were gonna happen, some type of war. I saw an army. I remember seeing people, soldiers armed and all of that. And I also saw how it's almost like the island of the Hispaniola was being drawn out to me, the complete map, right? You guys know that I was born in the Dominican Republic. I have a lot of family there. That's my native country, right? So I saw that vision so perfectly. And I remember being, I wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to tell you a little bit of what that vision was because it's so crazy how that was 2 years ago, but it's kind of tying up a little bit with what's going on in the Dominican Republic as we speak right now, right? And I got to say, this is why I'm making this video. Let's start praying for this people in the island, both of them, the two countries that share the island. There's a lot of things that could happen here, right? And like I said, God reminded me of this vision that He gave me, and it was so specifically with the island of Hispaniola, right? And I remember running up to this rooftop, right? And I remember it was nighttime and I saw the map drawn out in the ocean of the island of Hispaniola. And then I saw, we were all waiting. I saw it was like a fireball, right? It was just doing this kind of boom, boom, kind of like an alarm, right? And as I'm there, I remember everybody was quiet, and I looked around, and I'm surrounded by people. We were all just staring at what was happening, and it was like people just in awe of everything that was happening. We're all watching this vision, right? And I was like, what is going to happen with Haiti and the Dominican Republic, right? And then we know that the president got killed in 2021. I made videos about that. That was so tragic because their own president got killed. Their own president called for and asked for help, right? About a week ago, they told everybody who is a U.S. resident to get out of Haiti, right? The situation in Haiti has been chaotic for a long, long time. These people have been dealing with a lot of stuff for a long time. And how their president got killed and how his body was found missing an eye. One of his ribs was broken. And I made a whole video about that. Everything was so detailed, and it was so specific how the body of the president got killed that it tells you some type of ritual was happening there. Their own president, right? And it's just so problematic about that, right? And looking at that, and looking at the vision, thinking about the vision that God gave me about that, one thing I must say, right? The vision that God gave me was September 20. Oh, wow, it was September also, September 2020, right? And also, before I forget, you can go ahead and watch the video, everything that I said there. I don't remember everything exactly, but I do remember seeing Donald Trump And I don't know if that was a symbol, because I was thinking to myself, wait a second, Donald Trump, what is he doing here? And it's almost like a symbol of, um there was going to be some type of enmity, like, and as I saw, let me just tell you what I mean. As I saw that vision of Donald Trump in the Dominican Republic, and me in a rooftop in my country, in the Dominican Republic, and seeing everybody in saw all of everything that was happening, seeing fire in the ocean, and seeing the map of the island of Hispaniola being drawn up, and out of nowhere, I look over and I see Donald Trump, and he was like ready to go into a airplane, right? And I was like, what does this mean, right? And I was like, the Dominican Republic and the US, they are in very good terms, right? That was 2020, right? And I was just thinking, is Donald Trump, seeing him there, right? I know he's not the president anymore, but because that represent that something was going to happen between the US and the island of Hispaniola, and specifically, with the Dominican Republic, some type of, they're going to become enemies or something like that, right? And now looking at what's happening right now, right? And we know, like I said, Haiti has been a country that needs help. It's not like a help that is just you give them help and you kind of let them go and be their own country. They're always in this constant need of help, right? And I don't want to get too deep into that, right? It's just one of those countries, it's a beautiful country. It's one of those countries, it's almost like they can never get on their own feet. And people might get offended with what I'm saying, but that's just the reality. When you're always in this constant need of help, right, for your people, something is going on here, right? So putting that aside and thinking what happened to their own president and how he died, calling for help, calling his own security for help, right? And the way that his body was found missing, and I mean, there's a whole detail about it. Some type of ritual was done on on their own president. And I'm like, man, that is the top leadership position in the country, and they couldn't protect their own president, right? And looking out about a week ago, like I said, they're ordering everybody who's not a who's not a Haitian, citizen, to get out of the country, basically, because the situation is getting completely bad, right? And then something that I learned today is why I need to speak about this, right? Because we need to start praying for the island of Hispaniola, right? Something that I learned today was that the president of the Dominican Republic, Luis Abinader, is closing the entire border starting tomorrow at 8 a.m., I believe, right? So they are demanding, right? The Dominican Republic is demanding everybody who is, who is in the Dominican Republic doing business, anybody from Haiti, to basically get out of the country, right? And I saw a couple videos from national news in my country, right? How people are feeling frustrated, because they're saying, a lot of people from Haiti, they're saying, we are in the Dominican Republic because we need help, right? And they're saying President Abinader should be reconsidering this whole drastic move to basically take everybody out, right? And some of them are saying, Haiti was saying how poor they are, and they don't have like the if something happens that they go into battle or whatever, they don't have they don't have an army that's strong enough compared to a country like the Dominican Republic, right? So pay attention to that, guys, because like I said, Haiti has always been a country who depends basically on the help from overseas, from other countries, right? So you think, right, because the gang violence in Haiti is getting out of hand, people are afraid to leave their homes, right? I cannot imagine being in that country and living in such turmoil. And it's not like it's happening, because every country has their bad parts, right? Every city has their bad parts that you like, okay, I don't go there after 7 p.m. because we know that neighborhood type of thing, right? This is is in a lot of the cities over there. It's a lot of places that are unsafe to even just go out during the day, right? They're telling people to get out of the country if if they're not a Haitian citizen. So the Dominican Republic is saying basically, we're gonna close the border, right? Um, something came to this, right? And I'm not I'm not making anything up, guys. Like I said, God gave me a vision about this, and at that time it didn't make sense at all to me, because I'm like, first of all, the US is in good terms with the Dominican Republic, right? But I saw what I saw, right? And you think that if something goes down in these two countries in the island, you think Haiti, being known for needing so much help constantly, the people, like the big, the big powers, right, in the international government, they're gonna be like, okay, let them defend themselves. That will never happen, right? So I'm actually very concerned for the Dominican Republic, because there's a couple things that I think they're missing out here when it comes to my country. There's a couple things. First of all, you're you're basically defending yourself from people who don't even have the means to defend themselves, right? It's almost like it's a coward move in a way. And I know people might not agree with me, and you have to understand, like, compare Haiti with the Dominican Republic when it comes to powers and being a country that's more developed. It's kind of hard to even compare, even though they share the same island, right? So the strength that they have, and compared to Haiti, it's almost like you're going against such a weak country. So for you to do that, it's almost like you're being a coward in some way, right? That's just my honest opinion. The other thing too that I think the Dominican Republic is missing here is the fact that there is no you have to look at the track record of the people who have helped the people of Haiti in the past. They're not going to see that country struggle to defend themselves and do nothing about it, right? Something's going to happen if it really gets really bad. If everything that I saw in my vision comes to happen anytime, in the couple days or something, not I hope not, right? Because I was terrified, and what I saw, we were all concerned because everybody was quiet. Imagine being in a seat filled in a place filled with people. If everybody was just quiet, because what we were watching was so out of this world, right? And I remember seeing, armed people in the part of the Dominican Republic, armed soldiers, right? And I remember it being just so silent, and we were all there, right? Um, so that's something that the Dominican Republic needs to reconsider, because closing the entire border, that starts tomorrow, the 15th, right? Closing the entire border for Haiti. Um, I don't know. And then you have to think about the biggest part of this whole thing, right? And I think I said this in my video when I made the video about the vision. You think about your neighbor, right? So when you have a neighbor that is in such a need, there are two things that you can do, right? You can be a good person and help your neighbor, right? And because, the Bible speaks about that, loving yourself as your neighbor and helping your neighbor and all of that stuff, right? But not only you're not gonna, and I understand this, they didn't just share the island starting last year, nothing like that, obviously. But you're gonna close down the border, and they're telling you, the people of Haiti are saying, we're coming to the Dominican Republic because it's so horrible where we are right now that we need help. So not only you're gonna ask them, whoever doesn't have their papers in order, right, to get out of the country, basically. And how would they know, right? Because just by looking at somebody, you don't know if their immigration status is correct or not, if they're there illegally or not, right? So that could lead to a lot of racial profiling in the Dominican Republic too, right? Um, so the other thing is, like, not only are you going to close the entire border, so you're going to affect the economy, A lot of people from Haiti come to the Dominican Republic to sell their creations, their goods, right? A lot of them come to buy stuff too, because, you have to understand Haiti, being so bad as it is right now, you don't know how much goods they're able to get, right? So the Dominican Republic is closing the entire border, and they're closing the physical border and also through water, right? Um, and Luis Abinader, the president, said of the Dominican Republic, said earlier today in a conference, he's saying nothing, nothing's going to happen. We'll do everything in our hands possible to defend our country and our independence. I don't have a good feeling about these guys. I don't have a good feeling. I just got to tell you something, your neighbor is in need of help, right? You're not even saying, okay, we'll let the children and the moms and the children come to their country if they need like medical help, anything like that. It's a shutdown of the border completely. And I can understand when people are fed up of helping, right? But when you see a country who is in constant need of help, and you see your country developing so well, and tourists are higher than ever, right? That's what I hear from the Dominican Republic. And your neighbor is like crying out for help. They don't even feel safe to be out of their house. And you're going to be like, we're going to shut down our border. Don't think for one second that other people, other big powers in this world, when it comes to economic power, very well developed countries like the US, they're just gonna let you do that, because there might be a couple fights and things like that. Um, because when people are in need of help, desperation kicks in, right? So I don't think the Dominican Republic is actually analyzing this 100%. And I know I have no political things. I'm not, I'm no expert, but you have to understand of the track record of Haiti and how many people are always willing to help a country, everything that they've been going through, right? Um, if it gets really bad, the situation with them, they're not just gonna let the Dominican Republic like go crazy on Haiti. Something, some type of coming together is gonna happen. And I'm saying you're trying to protect your border against such a poor country, such a weak country, that don't think for one second people are just gonna be like, they're gonna look at the situation and be like, oh, you know, the Dominican Republic needs to protect themselves. There's nothing wrong with protecting yourself, right? But protecting your people. But you have to understand that um, if the situation is that they're in such a need of help, like I said, that's what's happening in Haiti. Like, I hope, that the Dominican is ready. Like I said, that's where I'm from, right? The Dominican is ready for what could lead this that they're doing to protect themselves can actually open up something bigger. Because, like I said, nobody's just gonna let Haiti just kind of like fight for their own, but they know they don't have the means to do that, right? So some type of coming together is gonna happen, and I'm only saying that because not only does it lead me to say that, but you have to understand I already saw a vision about this, and it was so specifically the island of Hispaniola. The island of Hispaniola. It was drawn out for me to see. And then I saw Donald Trump too, right? So I don't know if he was symbolizing the US. And in that moment when I saw him walking towards the plane to get in the plane, I was like, the US is in good terms with the Dominican Republic. I don't know what this means. So the only way that could lead to a bad relationship is if they see something, if they hear something that's going on down in the border, after shutting it down, that is going to angry somebody, somebody in power that's going to bring others together to combat what the situation is. So we got to pray for Haiti and the Dominican Republic. That's just, I don't know what else to say, guys. Really, it's just, I'm looking at the news and looking at people just basically, some guys say, I've been living in the Dominican Republic for 2 years. He's from Haiti, and he's like, now I'm being told that I have to get out of the country, basically. And I was going to the university here. Now I'm being told that tomorrow I have to leave this country out of nowhere. So it's just it's not looking good. So, um, I see here the article is they're going to close down the border starting tomorrow at 6 a.m. So let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. And like I said, let's pray tonight for Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Thank you guys so much for being here and listening to this podcast and watching on YouTube. God bless.